Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your March, I almost said April. I'm here to bring you your March 2020 mid-month general reading. So we're looking at the last half of March. And this reading is for the air sign of Libra for the last half of March. So welcome everyone, welcome first timers and new people, welcome back followers and subscribers. Thank you so much for all of your likes, your sharing the videos, your subscribes, etc. Always welcome and appreciated. I'm coming to you live from my new computer. Finally was able to get my new computer, so no more headset. I'm still playing with the audio and graphics, but it's nice to have a new updated model. Technology moves so much faster than I do. And I'm also using a new deck of cards today, still by one of my favorite tarot card artists, Ciro Marchetti. But this is a new deck called Legacy of the Divine Tarot. The artwork is just quite beautiful. He's also putting out an updated version of the Gilded Tarot Deluxe, but that doesn't come out until next month, but I've already pre-ordered it. So everything all brand new for you today. All right, moving on. So this reading is for the air sign of Libra for the last half of March. Libra sun, moon, rising, if your Venus is in Libra, or if you're cross-watching for a Libran. I strongly advise watching all of your sign videos because they all resonate a little differently, and it can add extra clarification by watching all of them. And of course, if any of the readings do resonate with you and you're interested in reaching out for a personal reading or want more information, just click on the description link below on that little arrow and you'll see more info, contact details. Email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to work with you. I do a wide variety of readings, and I do readings full time, so timing is pretty good. I'm pretty diligent at getting readings out to you or scheduled with you pretty quickly. All right, Libra, let's see what the last half of March is holding for you. Okay, Libra, we begin with the Six of Wands, followed by the King of Swords, the Nine of Swords, followed by the Two of Cups. Sorry about the glare. I'm still having to kind of work out how to hold the lighting and stuff on these cards. They're very glossy. From the bottom of the deck, overall energy for the last half of March is the Devil. Okay, all that Devil. So the Devil is your energy for the last half of March, Libra. So what does the Devil represent? Well, the Devil can represent a variety of different things. It can represent addictions, drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, shopping, work, you name it. It can represent toxic relationships where there's too much power and control, neediness, obsessiveness. It can represent mental health issues. It fundamentally represents temptation and vices. It could be things that we seek out or things that we return to in times of stress or boredom that are either not that good for us or we do them so obsessively they become unhealthy. It's kind of like, pain medication or alcohol. I mean, used in the right way, it's quite useful, quite nice, but of course taken overboard and it can become a dangerous, toxic, and potentially even fatal thing. So temptations and vices in relationships, this could be, you do have the Two of Cups, it may be a relationship issue for some of you, whether that's love and romance or a best friend, but it can also represent just a situation you feel very tied to. So the Devil represents temptations and vices and kind of trying to work your way through that or battle your way through that, kind of break the chains because they're unhealthy. It's imbalance, which represents something that we're tied to or that we keep obsessively seeking out so much that it becomes a detriment to the rest of our lives and other people there as well. So that's your overall energy for the last half of March. But all is not lost. It's okay. So we have the Six of Wands, which is victory and triumph after a struggle, after a battle. It's also a card of public recognition and being seen and having your efforts and the challenge and the battle and your struggle not only be seen by other people, but your victory and your overcoming something uh, uh, being also witnessed and celebrated as well. This can be an indication to some of you that seeking help from those who are aware of whatever this situation is may be helpful as well too. I mean, a burden shared is a burden lessened, as they say. Now, what clarifies the Six of Wands, this victory, is the King of Swords. Aquarius, Gemini, Libra energy, Sun, Moon, or Rising. For many of you, Libra, I hope I just didn't say Gemini. It happens every once in a while. Libra, I feel like for the majority of you, this is your energy. You are sitting in your power. So kings and queens are people who have mastered their suit, meaning they're at the top of their game, meaning that they have reached a point of balance, self-mastery, and control over the character traits that are inherent or natural to them. This is the King of Swords, governed by the element of air. So this is the King of Air, which in the tarot is mental energy. It governs our mind. Belief systems, ideologies, our perspectives, perceptions, what we think and believe about something and how that affects the way that we relate and communicate. It's also about learning, truth, higher education, wisdom, honor, and integrity, the higher road. So the King of Swords is at the top of that. The King of Swords will make decisions, ideally, from a place of what is true, what is right, what is correct, what has honor and integrity. Even if it's emotionally painful, even if it's emotionally difficult, he will place those emotions, his own emotions, on the altar and sacrifice them to what is actually right and true and what is perhaps going to be best for him or the people around him in the long run. He does what is right, even if it is difficult or challenging, because he sees the truth of the situation. So this is where your victory is coming from. For some of you, this may also be another air sign or somebody who manifests like the King of Swords, who's also pivotal in helping you achieve this victory. But I feel like for most of you, you are really, especially during the last half of March, although timing being always a bit fluid and never more so than in general readings, you're going to successfully overcome whatever it is that this Devil card represents for you. For some of you, it's a relationship or partnership of some kind. But it's not easy. I mean, it's not easy to break the chains that enslave us, right? That's why this shows up as the devil. It's very difficult. Addictions or, addictive relationships, toxic relationships, whether they're with loved ones, family, best friends, work, money, whatever it is, whatever's in the shovel. It's very difficult to break that cycle. It's difficult to break those chains. And this battle is no different either. It's difficult. I mean, you will have victory over it because, the Six of Wands says you will have victory. You're going to ride back into town and everyone's going to be cheering and applauding the people that know. But it comes after a battle, after a struggle. And here's the struggle we have. It's difficult. Even after you successfully break it, the energies and the effects may linger for a time. That's what the healing process is about. Here's the struggle. The Nine of Swords, insomnia, fear of the future, a lot of different fears. What about this? What if this happens? What if this doesn't happen? What if I leave this person even though it's unhealthy? Then I'll have nobody and I'll be alone for the rest of my life. And, if this job I know isn't great, but if I leave it, then it'll hurt and I may have to be in a bad space for a while. And what if I don't ever, fill in the blank with whatever reasons that we give ourselves, those tapes that play in our head to keep us, enslaved to this devil. So, but I always say I never like seeing the Nine of Swords come up for people because it represents so much stress, anxiety, fear of an unknown future, usually. But the positive aspect to the Nine of Swords is one, you're almost at the end of it because the 10 is completion. And two, the Nine of Swords usually comes up when you have built up all the horrible possibilities in your head so much that it actually becomes bigger than what the reality of it is. So that's a positive aspect of the Nine of Swords. So what clarifies that Nine of Swords is the Two of Cups, the traditional soulmate card. This is someone you have or feel that you have that, karmic. I am holding the card up on the left and I don't have to lean, but I always feel like I'm leaning this way. Somebody you feel you have a karmic connection with. This could be a lover, a boyfriend, husband, girlfriend, wife, a best friend. It could be a relationship that you have. I mean, it's a relationship with someone or something, because we're in relationship to everything in our life. The Two of Cups represents a fundamental karmic strong connection between two people, two entities, two organizations. So, and for you, it's what this devil kind of translates into. Typically, it's a beautiful card. It's a card that represents a beautiful karmic connection with friendship and companionship at the heart of it. But taken to the level of the devil, it can become toxic and very difficult to break away from, because it's breaking that kind of karmic connection or setting clear boundaries. For some of you, this may be someone very close to you that is going through this, that you're very close to, that you're connected with. It could be a best friend, a close family member, a lover, a spouse, etc. For some of you, it's not you, but somebody close to you, somebody next to you, that you're worried about and that you're helping. You're trying very hard to help them achieve this victory, which they will. And it could be that for some of you as well. Let's pull some advice and guidance. I feel like the majority of you are going to achieve victory. It's not easy. It does come at a cost, as just about everything does. But sometimes the most painful, the hardest cycles to break, and the most painful cycles to break are thereby how we get our deepest level of wisdom, our most valuable lessons, and our highest level of growth and involvement as well. Kind of bumping up to the next level. Advice and guidance for Libra on how best to navigate through this for the last half of March. I keep wanting to say Gemini, and I'm not quite sure why, because I did Gemini, I think, 3 readings ago. Perhaps some of this has to do with one of your fellow sister signs, a Gemini. The Five of Swords, another card of victory, but a difficult victory. And when you win, i.e., breaking the cycle, moving out of this negative tie that you have with a person or a situation, it may not feel like a victory at the time, because often this card can imply that your victory is putting yourself on a path to health and eventual joy and fulfillment. But it often implies that you may have to leave someone or something behind in order to do that, which can be painful. That's what the healing is, especially the initial healing process, can be about. You do win a victory, but you're tired, worn out, exhausted, and you just want to go home and take all these weapons off and put your feet up and have a beer, right? It may not feel particularly victorious at the time, but it really does represent a victory, a significant victory. And right behind it is the High Priestess, which is trusting your intuition, your spirit guides, those synchronistic things. You know what you need to do here, and you're doing it. And I do believe that many of you, that the majority of you are going to achieve victory, meaning you're going to go through the difficult battle, the challenge, or someone close to you, and there will be an overcoming of this negative repeating cycle for you. So quite lovely, kind of phoenix rising from the ashes sort of feeling. So Libra, that is your reading for the last half of March. I hope that you found it useful and a really kind of inspiring and helpful too, because you're going to get through it. And you're going to be so much stronger and wiser and better prepared on the other side of this. And once we break these cycles, it means we don't return to them again. So good for you. So Libra, that's it. Again, if these readings resonate with you and you'd like to take a deeper look at anything, or you'd like some more information on personal readings, just click on the description link below. click on that little arrow. You'll see some contact details. You can email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be most happy to work with you. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the April 2020 general readings. And until then, as always, I wish you much love, joy, peace, and strength. Get some rest as well. And I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.